capital. That is something I've always been curious, and it has been a topic that's pretty hot in the tech space, especially.
It's not a problem for her, so awesome.
Seriously.
So I love this whole marriage dating analogy, and I was strategized with one of my founders the other day, and we were sort of planning. You know what? I don't know how to say it in English, but whatever, horrible Chinese now. And so you sort of like want to build a relationship with a lot of potential suitor, but at the end of the day, you are really, really hot in terms of your numbers. People will chase after you anyway. So I think build relationship is good, and also particularly back to the Series A, the original questions, you realize that there's certain fund size of funds can actually afford to do a Series A. We cannot. Like, we're too small of a fund, so we will never be able to do A. So you should actually sort of pay attention and target like certain fund that actually makes sense for you to be your potential wife in this case. But on a different note, I'm not addressing your question, but more or less as a founder, you have to strategize and think, okay, the numbers speak for itself. You can say, I'm not raising. You should say, I'm not raising. And if you're about to raise, time it so that in that particular week, you're getting off, like I'm ready, I'm getting offered. So there's multiple suitors, right? I think in general, it's not a man or women thing. Norma and another one of my best performing companies is called Hook, Hooked, also a woman CEO. Perna is amazing. I previously sold his company to Smule. Like, she knows better than I do. Like, in terms of fundraising, in terms of numbers, it's amazing. So I think it's a matter of like being a better CEO and more prepared when you're going to raise money, and less about it doesn't matter men or women, less fluff about all these things. Just focus on numbers, and then automatically you would have tons of investors chasing after you.
Well, let's take this courtship analogy a little bit further. So how do you folks handle rejection? You had 39 doors shut in your face before you finally, Edith finally, you had kindred spirit, and you found that kindred spirit in Edith. How do you handle rejection?
I think it's building mental toughness, right? Which is part of the entire journey in entrepreneurship. I mean, you not only get rejected by your investor. I mean, you have a new product to market. You get rejected by potential clients. Not all users like your product. You get some negative feedback on social media. So I think that along the way, it's just building mental toughness and to take it less personal. Because once again, not everybody has to love your business idea or whatnot. You only really need to find that 1 or 2% to kick up your round, and then everybody else will kind of follow on.
Were you very strategic in your selection of funds that you approach? Did you do your homework when you?
I won't say right off the bat I was, because it's a learning process along the way. But I gave myself certain target during my A round. First of all, I wanted an RMB fund to invest in DayDayCook, because back then we just entered China market for the first 6 months. I wanted them to validate myself as a non-Chinese entrepreneur in the China market. And secondly, I want to attract a popular or famous Chinese investor to invest in DayDayCook to kind of validate the business model itself. Because back in 2015, nobody was doing what we were doing in China. So we're kind of like a crazy person, waving out VP out there trying to get funded. So that's how I targeted my investor back then.
On the flip side, Edith and Roland, how do you handle your rejection? How do you reject ideas? Is it all me, not you?
Well, what I hear a lot is the silent let go. It's the you don't answer on the courtship thing. You don't call me back. Is there something wrong? That's what we normally hear. The point I was going to actually make to that is, if you get rejected, and all of us, even as investors on chasing good deals, we might get rejected too. Ask for that reason. So
ask for that reason.
And it could be a business reason, it could be a relationship reason, it could be a bunch of reasons, but at least you know. Because this is a relationship game on both sides of the coin. I really agree with there has to be a leveling between investors and startups, and no one plays superior over the other. If you get rejected by an investor, why is that? That reason gives you that relationship. It gives you the talking point for the next time you meet each other. It's not the only time you're gonna come cross paths, and the vice versa makes sense. If we can't get into a deal, we would ask, what can we do in the future? Anything we can do to help you along, because I don't want to break this relationship either. So ask for that reason and get one in the rejection.
I'm trying to get a lot better, like in terms of just reject much faster. Because sometimes I think if I'm looking at it at an investment, it's something that I've seen before or I have invested before. Usually I'm really critical, and much faster saying no. It's sort of one of those like in between where I have never seen it before. It seems pretty good, but I haven't done my homework, so therefore I don't know if I should say no. And investors don't usually say that, but that's really what's going on with me. If I'm not saying right away, it's because I need to do my homework. And a lot of times, what we usually do is that each category, at least for 500, now we have like fintech partner. Bonnie is sitting in the audience, is a healthcare expert. I will go and ask my colleagues so that we can like look at it together, and at least I get some feedback. So don't be disappointed, not because usually investors need to get themselves up to speed on a lot of the latest thing. And I realize I'm still forcing myself to use Snapchat, but it's just not natural to me.
You're ahead of me. I haven't used it yet.
Right. Okay, that's all the time we have. I think the party is starting, so we better not hold you from the party. Thank you very much for being a great audience, and please join me in thanking